I'm not here on a 10-day. Just to get that out of the way. Sashi Brown is a great family friend, and he asked myself and my wife to come in and talk to the guys um, about diet, longevity, uh, taking care of themselves, and I jumped at the opportunity. I believe everything that I've learned in my career, everything that sustained me for 18 seasons, it's important to pass that along. And so many of the young guys, you're looking for a position in this league. You're trying to figure out how to grow and become an all-star. Make more money, and it's small things. And it's the simple things I think often we complicate. And I tried to expound on them the things that keeping it simple. They know what they are, but understanding their lives through how I lived my life, how I played the game for 18 seasons to get them understanding of how I was able to be successful. Well, he's a guy who's he's very particular. He's very thorough. Um, he grew up a huge sports fan, uh, not just of football, but basketball, baseball, um, and he has a constant quest for knowledge and for information. And just as recent as Cleveland, what he did to help them at least be in position, to acquire what they've acquired, to put them in position to get good talent in the rosters. He was at the helm of that. So what the Wizards are doing here, you could see the changes they're trying to implement, creating a culture here that exists, in their young players to create sustainability over a long period of time. That's so important because when you look around professional sports, you see some teams that just can't win, and ultimately, shameful as it is, it's ownership. It's how you run your franchises, and you can see the protocols being put in place as I spent the day here on things that they want to change, the efficiencies they want to put in place to make sure that their players are smarter, uh, they're eating better, they're getting rest. Ultimately, that does translate into them being healthier, stronger, and ultimately translate into wins. I walked into I don't know what to call that, the cafeteria, the food room. I always talk about the segments of growth that we had. First, when I got into the league, it was travel. Most teams flew commercial, meaning players were on the planes with other people, and then we started going commercial or private, charter, and then it was strength and conditioning. In the next 5 6 year segment, where weight rooms were being added to facilities and strength coaches were hired, and then the last segment was eating. Making sure that there was food available. A few guys here and there had chefs, but now having food accessible to the player in the morning, you think it can only imagine how many times you see guys wake up in the morning, not having eaten before practice. So think about the lack of productivity that you have there. So making sure that these guys have food available, like one, you'll have more players that hang around the facilities before and after practices. This should be a place where guys want to be, want to hang. It promotes more shooting. It promotes more unity and cohesiveness by guys talking and sitting down eating. And, just the things that we do going out to the community, always trying to find a place to eat, it's more difficult, but certainly more conducive to, having that available to you at your fingertips here in the facilities and allowing them to get better. Well, I haven't spent much time with him, and I probably will in a little bit. But just following him over the last year, watching him, he certainly is a player. You look at a player's adaptability to play at a higher level. He's certainly got the size. Seems like he has a great personality, um, and he can play at a high level. So I believe that he's in a position to be highly successful, and I think it'll be great. I was in Japan a couple of months ago, and the game is growing even more. over in Japan. So whenever a foreign-born player is successful in the league, it increases, the NBA brand in that country and certainly globally. So we always root for the players because it certainly is a global game and it makes it even more global. Um, and it brings in other countries around in those vicinities in those Asian regions as well. Practicing perfect practice. So just to understand, shooting a three, you can't come in here and shoot a three as if you're practicing and everybody's here. You got to shoot a three as if you're playing. It's the championship and you got one shot and you have the tallest player on the floor running out on you. That's how you have to practice every day.